And we'll walk around the compound, and we'll see some tigers, maybe a squeak. BBs. Look at these little cutie pantses. Look at Mr. Rah-Rah with his mohawk. He's like a punk rocker. I don't trust him. And Zoobs eating his chicken. Eating his chicken. These little artistes are doing very well for the Indiegogo campaign that is currently ongoing right now. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to it, but you've been seeing a lot of the BB art that has been happening, and people have been scooping that stuff up like crazy. Oh my gosh, we made 16 of those canvas paintings last night. So I filmed the video last night, and we put them into the system, made everything public early this afternoon. A few hours later, they were all snatched up. Every single one of them. Isn't that right, Zoobs? You are such a glorious artist. Of course they would want to have a masterpiece from Renoir Zubi. I think that's a good art name. I think that's a good art name for you. Renoir Zubi. And then you are going to be Raffarali. Raffarali. Oh, Renaissance master. Which is, yeah. Love it. Love it. But yeah, so we're going to do more. We're certainly going to do more. Because they are a very popular, a very hot item, a very exclusive item, a very unique item. And you get to see, specifically how yours is made, and there's a video, attached to it. And we're gonna do more because, I mean, these things go so fast, and they're really doing an awesome job of helping to, fund these guys' new enclosure, the fund for their new enclosure, which that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. So awesome! I think the next color schemes are going to be more like teals and blue and maybe a little bit of green, possibly a little bit of violets and stuff like that in there, So yeah, nice. And without further ado, oh, it's so windy. Hello, all of you big cat lovers out there. It is me, Derek, again, welcoming you to another super duper fantastic, wonderful, hopefully I'm not obstructing the microphone, walk around the compound webcast. Oh my goodness. Hi. We're gonna go this way, and I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to protect against the wind. I may not be successful at all times. You're just gonna have to make deal. Oh, grass around the compound. I should just edit all of these, I guess, to where when I'm over there and there's no cats, I'll just stop the recording, and then I'll just walk over here, and then I can do that. I think I can pause, hold on, and then I can resume with the cat in the frame, so that it's just the maximum amount of cats that is showing up at any given time. A maximum amount of cats. Yeah, neat little feature. I'm finding out new things about my Samsung Galaxy S6 device. Excuse me. Little Miss Allie. Oh. Hi, Sugar Pie. Uh-oh. You got a little bit of something caught in your tum-tum there? Maybe she's got some hairballs kind of harking up. Because she was walking around just fine just a second ago. Sometimes I'll do that, and then they'll go like, and then they'll puke all over the place, and then they're good. Wally! 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 I did not run into that thing this time. I know some of you were there. You were laughing the last time. Tee hee hee, he ran into a thing. Tee hee hee. Oh my gosh. Mr. Man. Oh Lord. Mr. Wally. Oh, look at your mane glistening in the sunlight. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's some pretty, that's some epic stuff right there. That's like, you know, the box art for like an epic movie, you know, type thing, like, one lion against all odds ate all the chicken. And wondered where his gel was. I think Noelle's coming. I think she's going to sneak up. I saw her jumping down from her platform. I'm not sure if she's going to come from the left or from the right. All right, let's see. Left or oh, right. There we go. There we go. Ow! No. Oh. Whoa, big squish, big squish. Oh, it's a merry-go-round of butt sniffing. That's delightful. Just, I think I speak for everyone when I say that we all just kind of wish that we could have a relationship so special. We could just a merry-go-round of butt sniffs. Ah, honey. It's so fun, wonderful to finally find someone I can just be so comfortable around. Hi, Bud. Hi, Wally. Hi, Wally. Hi, Bud. Yeah, you're a good boy. I love you very much. I love you very, very much. Very much. Yeah. Hi, Noe. Hi, Noe. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. So, yeah. Been working really hard on getting the, doing the Indiegogo campaign stuff, and really think that, you know, going into that peat painting direction is a really good thing. So yeah, we're going to continue on with that for perks. Hi, car. Yeah, I was losing my footing. So I don't have anything that's terribly too pressing, so I don't think I'm going to be getting into too many significant issues. But I'll still ramble on about stuff, about things. I know that the I posted Vine with Luca playing Tiger Tug of War with some of our interns, and you know, there's guys that get on the comments and then they start, you know, just kind of, oh, look at them, girls, oh my god, slobbering and just, you know, like some of the stuff is just like, oh, those are some nice little ladies right there, and then some of them are getting just kind of like, oh, just things and creepy stuff, yeah, and it's like, oh boy, there's like a whole different palette, and it's like, come on guys. Really? Come on. Get it together. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. Now they're fighting over a bucket. They're arguing over a bucket. A bucket! Good sir. Well, actually, no, the bucket doesn't even have water in it. You gotta go to the other one. I don't think that the, hooked it up. Yeah, we gotta go to the other. Gotta go to the bucket over here, Mr. Wally. In this corner. That one is a non-functional bucket. For the time being. Full of the time. Oh, we have a kitty cat inside a flower pot, which is great. But yeah, no, it was just kind of silly, and I don't know. But it was kind of, I guess, interesting because I just put out content and it's got me in it, and it's got the cats. And then that's it. And then there's been a couple times where I've like featured stuff with like the interns on it, and then all of a sudden you'll get guys like, oh, hubba, hubba. And it's like, dude, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, you're just making yourself just look like a dope. Come on. And then I sit there and think, just like, my goodness, this must be like I get 0% of that type of feedback. Also, I get 0% of feedback from Sydney right now. So I'm gonna move on to Serena. More feedback. Feed? I like feed. Feed me, yay, feed me, feed me, feed me. La, 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 la. But I guess it's like one of those kind of startling kind of things, because I'm very used to a certain type of response to comments, and you know, it's like sometimes I'll get negative stuff, and sometimes I'll get, like, you know, and most of the time I'll get overwhelmingly positive stuff, and you know, messages from fans and all these sorts of different things, and that's great. But I don't ever get, you know, just I don't ever get like, oh, Derek, hubba hubba, you know, kind of comments, for obvious reasons, but but I guess it's kind of it surprises me. And it gives me a new perspective on some of the things that, you know, that it seems like, you know, sometimes you ladies have to deal with, that I don't, you know, I don't consider, I don't think of, because it's just something that is not within my sphere of existence. It's not anything that I have to, you know, as a dude, it's not something that I'm, you know, and as far as like our societal norms and gender norms and stuff like that, it's not something that I have to put up with. So it's one of those things where it's just easy for me, you know, to not necessarily consider it, you know, as this. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, like he's inconsiderate of these types of things. And I think that I'm very considerate of a lot of this stuff, but yeah, I think it's just, I'm trying to illustrate the point that it's easy, you know, to I guess admit the fact that I don't have a female perspective and I don't know what it's like, to even just have seemingly innocuous interactions in your day-to-day life, just be peppered with that, you know? And it's just like, geez, it was a bit of an eye-opener. And I swear, oh my gosh, if I see any comments, now you know, that's a thinly veiled condescension. Now you know this stuff. And it's like, I'm trying to be very empathetic, but you know, whenever people, you know, do that, now you know, and it's like, I mean, first off, no, I don't really know. Not really. Unless I actually, you know, step into a Freaky Friday body changing machine, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm Jamie Lee Curtis all of a sudden. That's how I truly know. Because I don't, and I'm just trying to say that mine eyes were opened a little bit, you know, to, I guess, to just the everyday struggles. And like I said, a lot of the stuff was just very innocuous, but it was just kind of, it was prevalent, and it was a little bit more pervasive, and it was, I guess maybe not, or maybe invasive is the right word, I should say. And it's like, is this stuff that I just got to deal with this all the time? Is it like this all the time? Well, that doesn't seem pleasant. That doesn't seem fun. Hi, bud. Oh. Look at these cuties. Oh, that is not nice. That is not nice. Oh, Mr. Slave. Missed you, Bew. Mr. Slave. Ah, you're such a big, scary guy. Look, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna do Tigi Pete painting, but if I ever did try to attempt it, it would be a severely limited edition. I mean, these guys are so much more crazy pants and difficult to deal with than the BBs are. And I don't know how productive I would be. I don't know how much I'd be able to get done. But I'm not. So it's like, look, we might have to just deal with the fact that we might not have TEP painting. Look at this is great because look how nuts there. Look how nuts. He's saying a lot of words about mental illness. Derek is problematic. I'm being triggered right now. Sorry. Hopefully this wind is not bugging. Hopefully this wind is not bugging you guys. You people. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, put you into certain gender stereotypes. Or maybe if you're, if you don't identify readily with people, you sentient beings. Oh, it's so difficult. So difficult. Even when I'm, even when he's trying to say something positive, he just still ends up coming off like a dope. But it's difficult. It's difficult in the world that we live in now, I think. To not come off like, a dope to someone. Someone somewhere down the line is going to think that you're just full of crap and that you don't know what you're talking about and that you don't know a certain thing or a struggle. And to certain degrees, many of them, they're right. And we all have our own individual perceptions and our own individual perspectives that we all bring to the table. Look at these cute little tigers. So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to know. Maybe when like artificial intelligence takes over everything, and the Borg becomes real, then we'll kind of do away with a lot of this stuff. Who knows? But until then, we have cute Snuffles, and I think that cute Snuffles are pretty universal. Pretty universal. You got to be some sort of off person to not appreciate cute tiger Snuffles. So that is one of the unifying things, because there's a lot of different things. I mean, as far as like gender stuff, is about race stuff, about sexual orientations, and about your identity, and all of these different types of things that drive people apart. I think the thing that can all bring us together, though, is the cuteness of these tigers. See, there we go, bringing it all around. We're all in this circle. All of us in this circle. Hashtag deep thoughts. Oh, I was listening to a pretty cool thing. This guy named Dan Carlin. He's got oh my gosh, Slade. Oh my gosh. This guy, Dan Carlin, he's got a podcast. It's called Hardcore History. And he like breaks down, really in-depth, breaks down a lot of different historical figures and historical events. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, I can be kind of nerdy like that. I'm sorry, nerds, if you identify with nerd culture. But it was really amazing. It was really awesome. I was actually listening. There's a 5-part podcast sequence all about Genghis Khan. I listened to the first part, and it was like a couple hours, and it was fascinating. It was fascinating. I realized I didn't know enough. I knew different things about Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar and some of these great conquerors, but I didn't know that enough about. I felt these are my priorities. I felt I didn't know enough about Genghis Khan, and I felt like I should verse myself in the conqueror a little bit more robustly, and I decided to do it with Mr. Carlin's podcasts. And he was making these really, really interesting points about the nature of conquerors and those who engage in conquest. Hi, Mr. Chompers. Yeah, you are going to conquer all of the snuffles. You're going to conquer all of the cuteness. What? And I've read other things and other blog posts about some of this stuff, you know, about like Alexander the Great. And it's like you look at these people like Genghis Khan or Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great. These individuals, in the name of conquest, in the name of spreading their territory and spreading their glory, and for riches and for fame, they committed these really, really just crazy, just atrocious things. I mean, they're attributed with killing millions, literally millions of people. I know, you're so jealous of that. You want to kill millions of people, don't you? She's like, I wish I could. I wish I could. Why do they get to have all the fun, those ancient conquerors? Oh my gosh. Oh. When? Did that feel good? a little peach shake? Oh, that is cute. That is cute. Yeah. But here's the thing, is that from like a historical perspective, a lot of these individuals are, they're kind of painted in a different light from a historical perspective. Like Alexander the Great is considered this, guy who, he spread Hellenism and Hellenistic philosophy and ideology through the East and the Middle East and the Far East and stuff like that. Julius Caesar brought the civilized culture of Rome to the uncivilized peoples of Northern and Central Europe, and uniting a lot of the clans and like taking up a lot of Celtic lands and amassing it into the empire and spreading those democratic values and whatnot. And Genghis Khan is attributed with in the aftermath, I guess, being one of the greatest military tacticians in the history of warfare, and like the insights that we've learned have allowed us to be more I mean, I guess if you're looking from like a societal benefit, I'm not sure you're making a different kind of case for this type of thing. Oh, big stretch. Oh, look at that big stretch. Oh, big stretch to Bula and her boyfriend Craig. But yeah, that Genghis Khan is an interesting figure in history. They say like these are all the great things and the positive things that these individuals did, but they didn't engage in their conquests to spread Hellenism or to civilize these cultures or to teach future generations about military tactics. No, they did it again for there was like started off with trade disputes, or they wanted to fulfill the glory of their fathers, or they wanted to amass wealth and power and riches and stuff like that. That's what they did. It was a byproduct effect of their conquests that they actually had positive effects further on down throughout history. And he gave the analogy of like, that's like shooting an arrow and then painting a target around where the arrow lands. Is kind of, what a lot of that, like historical perspective can do. Also, we made the interesting point about like when I talk about things like Julius Caesar and I talk about Genghis Khan and I talk about Alexander the Great, literally they killed millions. Genghis Khan, he was a bit of a bastard. Oh boy. I mean, like him alone, tens of millions. And he would engage in like psychological warfare, rapes and pillages, like literal things, using those descriptive words. And It was really bad stuff. And what they would do also is like they would be like, all right, that city over there, they're big and we want them to kind of be on our side and we want them to fight for us. So we're going to go over to this smaller city over here and we're going to kill everyone. And then they're going to be watching. And they would do it. They would just do it. They would send, like, he was talking about how they would send their soldiers into like a city with kill quotas. Like, you got to go and you got to kill 20, 30, 40 people in that city. You got to chop their heads off, and then you got to chop their ears off, put them in a satchel, and then take them back to your officer so that he can count them, and then be like, all right, you're good to go. You know, have some lunch. It was like, jeez, it was crazy, but it happened in the 1200s. Those types of things happened in the 1200s. So we don't have an emotional connection to any of that stuff, to any of those things. The Julius Caesar stuff happened 2,000 years ago. Alexander the Great happened further back than that. We have no emotional connection to the things that happen, to the atrocities that happen. Now, there's a chain of restaurants. What? What? There are a chain of restaurants, a delicious chain of restaurants, by the way. I love going, and I'm not getting paid to say it, but Genghis Grill. It's kind of like almost like a Chipotle, but for like Asian food. It's awesome. Where you go and oh my gosh, you're so mooful. You're so mooful. I'm mooful. But it's like it's like a Chipotle, but for more Asian cuisine, and it's delicious. I love it. Yeah, I love going there. It's so good and delicious. But they have like cutesy signs. They have cutesy signs like in the restaurant that says like, you know why Genghis Khan's armies were so successful? It's because they were able to eat a lot of high protein, high nutritional meals. You know, it was really great. And it's like, you're like whitewashing over like these atrocities, like millions and millions and millions of people that this guy killed. But you don't think about it from a historical perspective. It's literally like if someone opened up a restaurant called Hitler's Hoagies. Yeah, like, yeah, these are good sandwiches. Hitler's Hoagies. But that would be awful, right? That would be terrible, because there's still people alive today who remember how awful it was, how terrible it was, that those things happened, that the conquest, the attempted conquests of the world, there's still people today who remember it. And you got folks, you know, that lived in those ancient times, their motivations were pretty much like the same. Pretty much. Awful, awful, awful things. I don't even know why I feel so passionate about this topic, but it was something that was kind of like a, whoa, holy crap, you know, kind of moment. So you got to keep things in perspective. There are kiddie rides now. There are children's rides that mimic the sinking of the Titanic. And you've seen them, those blow-up rides, and the ship is like halfway in the water, but it's like in the ground, and like kids can like whee, they slide down the sinking ship, and they can kind of bounce off of the smokestacks, and yay, do it again, do it again. 1,100 people died in that. 1,100 people died. It was a tragedy. It was terrible. Or was it 1,300? I think it was like 1,100 to 1,300, something like that. But yeah, and now it's a children's party ride. It's crazy, isn't it? I don't know. These topics are getting all sorts of all over the place today, aren't they? And then there's tigers. Punctuated by tigers. Punctuated by tigers. Now, if you could actually unite the warring tiger clans and actually march, you know, to the neighboring lands, you know, you would be just like Genghis Khan yourself, Selena. Genghis Selena. I'm just gonna, she is too crazy. You're too crazy. You're too crazy. What? Seriously, what is your deal? You upset? Look at your tail. Look at your tail twitching. Oh my gosh. Again, too crazy. You're too crazy. Hey, 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 hey. Shush, 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 shush. Yes. Shush. Calm down, sweetie. Calm down. Hey, calm down. Now Laylis is like, what's going on over here? And she's not coming over because like she's trying to protect me. She's just coming over here because there's activity and like there's potential mayhem. And ooh, that just feels good. Oh, that feels good to engage in mayhem. Instinctual desires, biologic desires. So a lot of this stuff I think boils down to people's relationships with each other. Because animals and people are just animals, you know. We have electrochemical impulses inside of us. We have instinctual tendencies that were handed down to us from our forebears generations and generations and generations ago, spanning across different species and millions of years. So a lot of this stuff as far as, you know, going and conquering nations and spreading out, I think a lot of that is rooted in biologic perspective. And I think also, of course, guys commenting just like skeevy comments on you know, a certain social media post, that's rooted in biologic perspective as well. That's why when the robots come, yes, the robots, it will be delightful. It will be good. Actually, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, some of the thought. But that could be a whole different topic for a whole different day. I've been babbling about all sorts of stuff. Probably offended a few people. Sorry about that. But, you know, I'm just kind of rambling. It's just how things kind of gotta go. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the webcast. This was definitely an interesting one. And we'll see you next time. So, bye-bye.